Deep in the heart of the enchanted forest lies a magical land in the north, filled with wonders beyond imagination. At the top of the world, you can find one of the most intriguing retreats. Aurora's Cabin is a destination of many travelers hoping for inspiration or treasure. Let your heart sink with the music as you melt into dreamland. You are aware that you are dreaming and are able to do and create what you want in this world.
Number 1. The story of Aurora's Cabin. Once upon a time, in a remote forest, there was a little cabin on a hill.
It was a quaint and rustic little place with a thatched roof and wooden walls. The cabin was nestled amongst the trees, overlooking the rolling hills and the vast expanse of the sky. There was a small wooden deck outside where you could sit and admire the stunning view of the northern lights. Many people came from far and wide to see the aurora borealis as it lit up the night sky in vivid colors. One day, there was a young girl named Cleo who loved to explore the enchanted forest near her home. Cleo was a healer, and she had traveled far and wide to learn the ways of the ancient healers. She had mastered the art of herbal medicine, acupuncture, and various other forms of traditional healing.
But there was one thing that she had yet to learn: the art of psychedelic healing.
She had heard of a rumored mushroom that grew deep within the woods, known for its magical properties that could take her on a journey unlike any other. Cleo ventured alone into the forest, determined to find the magical mushroom.
After wandering for what seemed like hours, she finally saw a tiny speck of green and purple in the distance. She saw that it was indeed the mystical mushroom she had heard so much about. As she stood there, she heard a voice whisper in her ear, "Cleo, you must learn the art of psychedelic healing.
It is the only way to heal the deepest wounds of the soul." Cleo was taken aback by the voice, but she knew in her heart that it was true.
Cleo grabbed a handful of the mushrooms and took a big bite.
Suddenly, the world around her began to transform into a whimsical landscape filled with vibrant colors and surreal creatures. She was in a whole new world, and everything around her seemed alive.
She started to experience a strange sensation. The northern lights appeared to be alive and moving around her, almost like a fluid ocean. She was feeling the art of psychedelic healing through self-discovery. Beside her appeared a special herbal tea. When she drank it, a little flute appeared by her feet. She picked it up and started to play a tune for the aurora borealis as a gift of thanks for the healing experience.
Number 2. The Cave Under Aurora Cabin. One day, a traveler named Jack decided to explore the area around the cabin, and he stumbled upon a small cave hidden beneath the hill.
He was intrigued and decided to explore the cave.
He entered the cave and were immediately amazed by its size and beauty. The walls were covered in ancient drawings and the air smelled of musty earth.
As they explored further, they found a small room at the back of the cave.
In this room was 3 doors. Not knowing what was beyond each door, he chose to open the door straight ahead. The place beyond the door was dark and chilly. There was a strange presence of dark fairies that could be felt in the air.
As they wandered further into the room, a whispering voice asked if they'd like to see the treasure chest. Thinking this is a great opportunity, they answered yes.
A pirate's chest suddenly appears in the middle of the room.
The chest was filled with old coins and jewels.
Jack was absolutely delighted and quickly filled his pockets with the treasure. As he tried to leave the room with the treasure, the door closed behind him, trapping him inside.
The dark fairies had tricked him, for the actual treasure was not located in that room.
In fact, even the room with 3 doors was merely a hologram. The real room with 3 doors exists on Mushroom Road near the tea party. Jack banged on the door and tried to pry it open.
A fairy's voice announced its presence. It claimed that if Jack could solve its riddle, then he may leave the cave. If Jack answers incorrectly, then he will get transported directly to the woodland fairy forest. Jack doesn't feel like he really has a choice, however he affirms that he would like to try to solve the puzzle. The fairy's voice said, "What is it that the more you take, the more you leave behind?" Jack took a moment to think about it before he answered, "People's hearts."
This was by far the most clever answer that the fairy had heard yet on one of its riddles. Considering accepting the answer as correct, the fairy paused before acting upon hearing the traveler's answer. Given the true nature of the fairy, it wanted no more than to transport the young traveler to the fairy woodlands. Being loyal to the family of woodland fairies, the fairy said, "You are incorrect. You have to come with me now." Number 3. Secret City Art Loft.
There is a deep and mysterious cave hidden in the dense woods outside of Aurora's cabin.
Most people avoid the cave, due to its eerie atmosphere and unknown secrets.
But one day, a young artist named Sophia stumbled upon the cave in search of inspiration for her next masterpiece after watching the Aurora Borealis from the hill.
As she entered the dark, twisting tunnels, Sophia couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. But curiosity got the best of her as she followed the path deeper and deeper into the heart of the cave. Suddenly, she stumbled upon a hidden entrance, shrouded in shadows. Trembling with excitement and apprehension, Sophia pushed through the entrance and emerged into a magnificent artist's loft, filled with light and color. The loft was like nothing Sophia had ever seen before.
There were paintings and canvases piled high, with brushes of all sizes and colors scattered across the floor.
And in the center of the room was a large, wooden easel, surrounded by many tubes of paint, a jar of mineral spirits, and several rags.
Sophia picked up a medium-sized paintbrush and walked up to the easel. There beside her appeared a palette with several colors already squeezed out onto the surface. With the brush in hand, she started to paint. She was painting landscapes from different places that she had been and even some that she imagined.
What she discovered was that the space was enchanted. Every time she created a new piece of art, the sky outside the loft would change to match her painting, transforming the city skyline into a wonderland of color and magic.
For months, Sophia visited the loft, creating a collection of breathtaking works that captivated the hearts of all who saw them.
But eventually, the magic of the loft began to fade, and the entrance to the cave closed itself off, leaving Sophia to cherish the memories of her enchanted art space forevermore.
And so, the cave rested in silence once again, waiting for another curious artist to discover the secret entrance and unleash their own creative potential in the mysterious city loft.
Number 4.
The City Café. If you are ever lucky enough to find the City Artist Loft, you have a good chance at also accessing a secret cafe hidden inside the mysterious cave. The entrance to the cave is shrouded by dense foliage, making it nearly impossible to spot if it weren't for the neon sign that read, "Entrance." Rumors had it that the cafe only admitted people who stumbled upon it accidentally or those who were invited. But those who were lucky enough to find the cave entrance were granted access to a magical world that awaited them inside.
Sophia, the young artist who paints in the secret artist loft, decided to explore the building she was in inside of the cave. She was hoping to find inspiration for her work.
When she left the door of the artist loft, she was back inside of the dark cave lit by candles. Several feet ahead there was a wrought iron spiral staircase that descended down into the cave.
She walked down the spiral staircase and saw the storefront to a cafe. She opened the door and was greeted by a friendly barista who led her to a table by a window looking into the cave. When sitting inside looking through the window, it appeared as if there were other shops outside and people were walking around shopping. She knew this was not really the case, since she just came from the outside and it was only a cave.
As she sipped on her specialty mocha coffee, she marveled at the mystical surroundings around her.
Everything about this coffeehouse seemed so authentic, right down to the chill jazz music that emitted from a small vintage radio on the countertop.
The cafe's tables and chairs were made of hardwoods from the forest, and giant ferns hung from the ceiling, creating an enchanting ambiance.
The cafe's menu was unique. The baristas had an array of unique coffee blends, each with its distinctive flavor and aroma.
She decided right then and there that she would make the cafe her secret spot for inspiration and sketched the concept to her next masterpiece on a napkin. From then on, Sophia spent most of her days at the cafe, drawing inspiration from the enchanting surroundings.
And every time she visited the cave, she left feeling energized, charged, and ready to take on the world. The cafe remained Sophia's secret spot, and she never shared the location with anyone else, but little did she know, there were others out there seeking the magic of the cafe as well.